basically, Cato Sicarius and his buddies are strolling through their Cato Sicarius and his buddy's book. So nothing bad ever
Wow,
happens.
not generous at all.
Can I glaze the Khan for a moment? I've got a pick.
It wouldn't be a LoreCrimes episode.
Andy on his knees for the calm.
For my beautiful boy, Lucius the Eternal. Whatever. He has multiple cool moments in his book, in his 40 book. Oh my gosh.
Hello, fellas, one and all, and welcome to LoreCrimes. We're happy to be here again, and just as a quick reminder at the start, we're changing the format up a bit. For those of you watching live, there won't be any major changes, but we're bringing back the older video style. So if you just want the content, the lore, and nothing but, do not worry. That'll be how it is going forward. If you don't want to watch the uncut full-length live stream,
If people wanted to go check out the normal, you guys who like the donations and all that, the people insulting our hairlines, our faces, our bloodlines, all that good stuff, go check out our Discord, and it's just linked on to a unlisted stuff on YouTube there. But for all you guys who like to, or all that live stuff, it's all there for you guys. Nothing's changed, but we're going to go straight on. For people who watch the video stuff,
we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, we're going to get right into it, though.
Before we get right into it, well done, Colin. I like the new digs.
Thank you very much.
Will you describe it for the audio listeners at least?
Yes, of course. For the audio listeners, see, there was this room in the house, for reasons I don't know, it's just painted green. And in an effort to save money on getting it painted and also just being lazy, this is the office now, because it's going to be mostly sound pads and posters. Indeed, I am now an adult.
He owns a home.
To be fair, you could use it as a green screen wall if you wanted to as well. Purpose built.
But there is the cabinet, like or the closet that might
just
make
record on one side. Yeah. We'll see how you go.
I dare say though, R.I.P. End of an era to the bed.
The bed and the chair.
The bed is now in a different room. It's no longer one combined space.
One last banner for the bed made.
I heard that.
I'm so my heart is gutted. But
Colin, you're like extra long beard and the mic and the nothing background. It looks like a thumbnail of a video that pops up on your YouTube feed from 20 years ago of just some hillbilly guy.
Wow.
Spouting off some random stuff.
You airsoft fatty's about to drop a new
one. surely people in the chat know the aesthetic of that. Speaking of,
but
also chat, I have more mayonnaise and rice and
don't go full force.
For the chat, for all the law criminals out there, they know one thing about us: we have no aura. We are
no.
We fumble the bag a lot, but we're going to talk today about Warhammer lore moments. They're the complete opposite of what a creator in LoreCrimes would be. Someone who's actually got aura. And again, thank you everyone in the Discord for sending in, again, another reason to join the Discord, because we posed this amazing question to you guys, and you guys came through. Love the responses as always. Thank you guys so much. But I think maybe, I don't know if we go straight into the comments from people, or do you guys want to start with maybe one of each of us, just as sort of obviously actual lore people, as in this is our job, so surely we should have a good one at least.
Yeah, I suppose we could do one each.
I've got mine. If does anyone else want to start, or should I just
go for it, man? Go for it.
I see mine is from where else but a Gotrek and Felix book. They tend to be at least 3 aura farming scenes per book. That's just kind of how the series works. But the one that sticks out to me, it's Gotrek and Felix. They went back to Nuln, and I'm gonna say prior to that, it was negative reputation for Felix, because he wrote a book about their time fighting the Skaven invasion of Nuln, and people in Nuln, dock workers, called him an idiot for saying the Skaven were real, and I'm pretty sure at least one of them punched him in the face.
Wow.
But this is for Felix. Him looking bad and getting the crap kicked out of him that's just kind of the status quo for the poor dude. But towards the end of the book, right? Because the plot revolves around there's some Tzeentch nonsense going around, trying to sabotage the Empire's production lines. Because when when most of your cannons come out of one place, if anything happens to that one place, you now only have the spear to fight the bloodthirster with, which is not ideal. I'm gonna say it's probably a brave statement. Fighting a bloodthirster with only a spear is not what you want to be doing. So that they were trying to hide that, and in the end, we get on one of Malachi McKyson's many blimps. But it's been revealed that the saboteur, the sorcerer behind it all, was actually working for him the whole time. Little Zinch twist, and then his Zinch things start happening. The cannons come to life. All of the humans aboard the dwarf Zeppelin are going insane or dying to magic. And the antagonist blasts Gotrek and Malachi with a magical Kamehameha. Like, I don't know how else to put. Like, it's just this beam of pure magical, mutating, killing, hurting, bad energy, and they just stand there like stanced up, arms wide, chest bare, shoulders broad,
bricked out silhouette through the door, door frame.
And they're just like, we're dwarfs. Your stupid magic doesn't do anything to us. And then they just start beating the snot out of them.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
it's like Gotrek. Look, there's a lot of hype moments in Gotrek and Felix. I don't know, but that one stands out to me because it's like an anime sequence. The bad guy tanks the attack, and then the smoke clears, and they're completely unfazed. It's like that. They're just standing there like, is that it? And come on.
Yeah, I assume he got slapped up silly after that, though. I assume he got wrecked.
Yeah, he the sort. Well, I mean, antagonist in a Gotrek and Felix book is perhaps the worst thing you can be for your life expectancy.
Unless you're thankful.
Unless you're thankful, then it's just one more setback on his road to glory victory.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a strong start, but I might have one which I hope no one else has taken. If I can, I'm slamming myself on the table, cock first, because I've got.
Is it going to be? Is it a Horus Heresy one?
It's not now.
It's Horus
yeah.
No,
Go on.
That's why you got to take from fantasy, because I know it's just me doing that.
I think Andy probably knows exactly the one I'm talking about, but it might even be on some of the comments mentioned today, but it cannot be overstated, which is it's Valdor finger guns. Imagine, I'll just paint the scene. You have Constantine Valdor already, we're talking about custodian, emperor's left-hand nut, big guy. He appears in a scene where, I'm not gonna lie, it feels like it's anime, where he's like, I guess it's like thugs, isn't it? And he essentially tells them to, I can't remember exactly what it in the wording he says, but he essentially just starts raising up his fingers like this, and like literally like finger guns, and then just clicks, and then one guy just immediately
he revolver ocelots it from Metal Gear Solid 4. It's like bang, 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 bang.
I think they even there's a proper moment where it's like you don't want this, and he just goes bang, 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 and then they all just start going, oh, what's happening? I think it turns out there's like what would be, I guess, a Vindicare assassin somewhere like massively far in the distance who's actually popping the shots. But it's a pretty crazy moment. I don't think is he in his custodian gear, Andy? I can't remember if he's just in.
I can't remember.
If he's in a disguise or something, or disguise as like a 7-foot tall man. But it is a pretty big moment because he just doesn't. He realizes words are not going to work, and so he brings out finger guns. Which is hella weird for a custodian to ever attempt to do. I wouldn't have thought.
I mean, hey, 10,000 years later, there's no Big E around to undo their personality. Some of them have to, some of them are going to have little quirks, little fun stuff.
Yeah, that's a weird way to have fun.
I mean, look, it's 40K. If you can't look like a cool dude when you're ordering people's deaths, what are you even doing here?
True. But yeah, that was a pretty that's my start, I'll say, for now.
I like that one's pretty good.
Eli? I feel like Eli, because I've said Horus Heresy now, so Eli's got to rectify this with some Xenos.
Save us, Eli.
I have like 5 that I like took note of, but I was gonna say a Space Marine one, but it's in a Xenos book. But I can pivot.
Do what you will.
Everything Artemax does in an Elemental Council is a aura hype moment. Every single scene with him in it is really cool. But I guess we could say something else.
I'm just going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy. Who?
Okay, okay, all right. The coolest Space Marine character ever. When Imhotep beats Helbrecht, that's pretty cool. He's got some aura. He says, "You've tried to claim this galaxy as your own for 10,000 years, yet you have little of account to show for your efforts. Such failure must be as depressing to bear as it is pathetic to behold." And then
says the guy who was napping for 10,000 plus years. Like, oh, what's that? I'm not listening to this skelly boy.
And then he cuts off Helbrecht's hand. After like soloing Helbrecht, by the way, it's not even a good fight. The Codex will tell you differently, but the novel will tell you the correct things. And Helbrecht says, whatever, I'll fight you, I'll hunt you. And Imhotep says, I expect you will. But here today you kneel before me defeated, and I will ensure you never forget it. And then cuts off his hand. May this remind you of your dishonor and defeat. And then Helbrecht is dishonored forever and ever. Learn from this so that we may duel again. Imhotep's the goat. Imhotep's the goat.
Yo, but what he did with that hand, though.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, sorry, I know I'd ruin it. Sorry about that.
Ooh, he hangs it up as a trophy.
Like boo from the ladies and gentlemen in the back.
Little did you know that Imhotep has a manicuring business on the side, and he needs hands to practice. Like, wow.
Necron fans, I'm always trying. Look, I'm the hand is outstretched in alliance. The real grown-ups of the setting. Again, come on, Necrons and Eldar.
But everything Armax does is an aura moment. Every single thing. One time, real quick. One time, all like him and Swordlight have this crazy fight. She's fighting for her life. It's the like most horrible thing she's ever done. Artimax is in barely powered power armor, and he still beats her. And then he says, "Our galaxy will forget you in perfect Tau. Whoever you are, our galaxy will forget you." And then just discards her and walks away, and it's awesome. That's like the beginning of the book, so that's not a huge spoiler.
Andy, do you have one to balance us out, please?
I've gone to the deep recesses of the lore. I've gone in the crevice of the lore and dragged something kicking and squealing from obscure lore. I'm picking a moment from, I believe it's the Voice of Mars, which is the second, I think. It's definitely the second Iron Hand book with Shadrach Medusan. So basically, he's on Mars with a bunch of other Tech Marines, and they're doing their training to become Tech Marines. And he's already a sergeant of the Iron Hands. He knows what he's doing. But because he's an Iron Hand, the Tech Magos is like, oh, by the way, you get special stuff because you're an Iron Hand, because, of course, you get, like, perks of the job. So he's having
Shadrach, or is this someone else?
Oh, not Shadrach. Sorry, Cardan Stronos. Sorry,
I think Shadrach was long.
Yeah. Cardan Stronos.
I confuse people.
He hasn't got a mini, and he's so obscure that I confuse him with the character who has more books. But no, Cardan Stronos is in this, like, he's on a surgical table, and the Magos has cut off the top of his skull, and his brain is exposed. And it's like, oh, don't worry, you big baby. I'm just going to, like, fit something to your brain so it works better. And then she's betrayed, and I won't spoil the story, but there's one of the orderlies betrays her. So then Shadrach, with his brain kind of hanging out of his skull, like, breaks out of his binds, kills the guy who's trying to kill him, and then just kind of goes like, oh, put my skull back on, and gets the staple gun, just goes like clink, 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 clink all the way around. And it's like, right, I've got work to do. And I'm like, oh, that goes pretty hard.
That goes pretty hard. I can't lie.
Need to make sure the jelly doesn't fall out the jar.
That is pretty important jelly up there. That one needs to be in.
Yeah,
that is pretty nuts, though.
I have an honorable mention before we get into the submissions, which is every time in Rogue Trader you tell Abelard to announce yourself. I'm too important to announce myself. Please do that
Abelard,
for me. Help.
Kill this peasant. Go on, do it.
Well, Abelard's not the help. He's the honored seneschal. That's just his.
The Silent King also has a hype man who constantly says, "Zarek, last and mighty of the Silent Kings," and that's awesome. I want a hype man like the Judicator. Also, the most hype moment probably ever off screen was the single Gene Stealer neophyte who killed Chiron, and the other one who killed Akaran, who saw two main characters on Space Marines.
I can one up you with that, Eli. The Watcher in the Dark who made the Changeling shit itself, and he just by looking at him like, It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but you're an
that's just
eldritch
a little
being.
tower,
They're
dude.
all they're an
like a
eldritch, weird
Karen in
eldritch being.
Walmart. He was in his
This
sights.
is John. This is John Gene Stealer Neophyte 1v1ing a Space Marine main character, and they beat a helmetless Space Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Okay.
I also, death be upon me if I didn't mention up everything Cetra does in the end times.
Truly, that is. I mean, that's just hard. He's the aura moment, to be fair. But we, speaking of the aura moments, we do have, again, you guys put some lovely submissions forward, and we're going to go read through some of them. I'm not gonna lie, some people had some good answers though. I did have a little sneak peek.
Some people do have some pretty
good
some
answers. I mean, there's one immediately if Eli can see it. If you go onto the no judgment one, because I need Eli or maybe Colin to explain this one by is it Borbo?
Let me look.
Borbo.
Borbo.
God bless you. Wait, just
It's
Borbo.
one of the beginning ones.
Dude,
Just
huge. We got
Borbo.
a Borbo fan right there. I know what. No,
Borbo.
they're a real one. I promise you. Don't worry about it.
Here.
This is the infamous Kato Sicarius incident.
Oh yeah, everyone knows this incident.
It's pretty good.
What you
Like,
mean?
But I mean, like, could someone explain it for someone who maybe doesn't
Okay,
know what we're
sure.
talking about?
Basically,
Eli's going to do it much more negatively than I would. I have a feeling.
it's a cool moment. It's a hype moment. Basically, Kato Sicarius and his buddies are strolling through their Kato Sicarius and his buddy's book. So nothing bad ever
Wow,
happens.
not
to him.
generous at all.
But it is. But they like break the wall. They break into some like random Tao's house. Pretty much, they're going through like this apartment hab, and there's a water cast lady in the apartment with like a gun under the counter or behind her back or whatever, and she's talking to Kato, trying to get him to be nice to her. And what is she? I might be able to find the exact audio. I won't. That'll take too long. She says something like, "Would your forefathers like be proud of you or like look pleasantly upon you
for attacking an unarmed female,
an innocent, defenseless, unarmed civilian?" And Kato says yes, and then stomps her skull and kills her immediately.
It's even better because the Ultramarine she's talking to like has a moment where like he thinks of like Gilliman and is like, "Am I doing the right thing?" And then Kato Sicarius barrels through. Yes, plants his
It does remind me a bit of the animated Angels of Death series where it's Chaplain Raphael and there's just Gene Stealers and they're fighting and they just hear something and he smashes through a wall and he's like, "Kill the heretic," stomps one's head into mush, "Kill the heretic, purge the unclean," and then just one's like, and he just blasts it with a pistol. You're like, that's a Space Marine right there. That's like a grade A space. That's prime rib space.
We should say
right there.
Talos is also a prime aura farmer. I'm finally reading through the Night Lord's Omnibus, and everything bro does is pure aura maxed, as they say.
I mean,
he's a true cell. He's a stone cold true cell.
Just out of curiosity, Eli, why is it not to be like? No, this isn't a critique, but it's just like, why is it that you've not read it before? Is it was it the hype kind of get in the way, and you were like, "Oh, it can't be that good," or just didn't get around to it?
I just didn't get around to it. I just read other books. I read mostly Xenos books and like Emperor's
just
Children.
Like, oh, there's so many Necron books.
I read mostly Xenos books and Imperial Guard books because they're often way better than most of the Space Marine 40K books, at least. So
nice. We should say for the people, Kato Sicarius did in fact stomp a civilian to death, which is true.
To be fair, she had a weapon. She had a weapon. He was right. He was vindicated.
She was reaching. She was reaching.
He was reaching.
It was a weapon in the bushes, was there?
The only time I've ever done the voice. Sorry.
No, you go.
I got Chaotic Voices of Andreas to do that line in my Kato Sicarius video, and it's the only time I voiced a female character because I thought it'd be funny to be like, the one time I do it, it's the one who's getting curb stomped, and it's a bit cringe. Look, and that's the only time I've done it.
Look, it's a matter of context, right? Watch Captain Artemis dooming the galaxy to Slaanesh, just saying yes. Not cool, not good.
No, we kill Slaanesh on our own terms, that's all.
Bad. Kill this man and watch Captain Artemis.
Colin with the like spray bottle, like no.
Yeah, bad. Kato Sicarius just kicking some lady's chest in because she didn't want to die. Cool.
And she was an alien.
Epic.
It wasn't because she was delayed; it's because she was an alien. So,
Well, yeah, but
just want to put that out
reasonable
there.
crash out.
I'm a Star Wars fan. I like the aliens more often than not, sir. Unless they're Trandoshans, kill every one of them.
That's
If the
Republic
Trandoshan is
Commando.
breathing a plasma bolt, it will be receiving.
Republic
Andy-
Commando has scarred me for Trandoshans. Thank you very much.
Andy, you recently read Fire Warrior. Do you remember any hype case moments? Because that entire book is just case
I
moments.
think that's just the book.
Or did you only look into the Ultramarines Raptors part and then just ignored case for the rest of it?
I was just like,
I'm gonna kill this guy.
I'm just saying that, like, if the Black Library don't respect the character from that book enough to give him another book in like 20 years, I don't have to respect his deeds. I don't know.
Oh
It's
my
like,
gosh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I've got enough
Kill this man.
obscure Space Marine books to be like,
Wow.
yeah, first time with the noose, like, yeah.
I love the contrast of video game book adaptions, because Halo the Flood is, it makes it a little bit more human with Master Chief, or like the whole time against the Flood, at least he's like, this is absolutely horrifying. And then we look over at Fire Warrior 1-to-1 adapting him, slaughtering his way through the Ultramarines, the Guard.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean
He's the goat.
tone things
He's the
down
goat.
for the book?
Case
Why
is
would
the
we do
goat.
that?
Oh,
We do have
man.
another one by Shecky. They say, you know the answer. It's also a hammer. Which, Andy, do you want to explain the context behind the scene, if you remember it from Horus Heresy?
So, long story short, Vulcan, the Primarch of the Salamanders, has been captured by Conrad Kurz. Istvan happens. He dies. I think he's nuked from orbit by the Iron Warriors. That doesn't stop him. He's like reformed, kind of like Wolverine. And then the Night Lords are like, oh, there's Vulcan in it. All right, we should like capture him. And Conrad's like, and they put him on the Nightfall, which is their like flagship. And Kurz just tortures him for weeks. There's things like the one that sticks in my mind is, I think I've mentioned it before. He goes, let's test his perpetual powers. Let's just tie him to the back of the ship where the exhausts are and disintegrate him with like the ship's thrusters. And he still comes back from that. And you're like, oh, that's no good. So eventually he traps him in this maze in the Nightfall, which was originally made to I believe it was made to trap was it made to trap Angron as a contingency, or was that just something they did at the end?
I think it was supposed to at some point.
I think they made a deal with Horus, and they were like, in case we need it, we've got this maze to trap Angron because he's a bit hard to like wrangle.
Because he's
Angron. Well, during the Siege of Terror, they made a deal during the Siege of Terror when Khan was like, oh my god, Angron's going to kill us all. And so they went to the Scrivok, who was in charge of the Night Lords, and they went, can we put him in your ship? And he went, yeah, go on.
But the thing is, Scrivok also got out there because he had a demon in his sword that showed him the way, which is a bit cheating. But I'm not sure if they made it specifically for that purpose, or if it was just they did that.
Kurz made it. I think, Percy Robin made it for Kurz before the heresy must have begun.
Well, either way, it's like this really impossibly large labyrinth within the depths of their ship, because quirky Night Lords, and Vulcan gets trapped in that, and he manages to make his way to the end. And in the end, as like a prize, Conrad leaves his weapon. I think it's Erdracule. Is it Erdracule? The two-handed hammer. And he goes and he gets it, and he's all like, all this, and you fought just for this and just like, you just fought for this hammer, blah 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 blah.
Because it's got a teleporter on it, doesn't it?
It's got a teleport. It's like you went all this way to teleport, and it's like, you forget one thing, brother. It's also a hammer. Bonk, and then he like smacks him in the jaw with it. I butchered that, but he
does proceed to bonk Kurz into almost death, and he almost delivers the killing blow, but he says, I'm not like you. And then he does teleport away.
Okay, bro.
He basically goes like you're a bitch, but I'm not a bitch. So he almost beat Kurz to death, I'm pretty sure, with the hammer, and then left him crying, most likely. We do have some more though. There's another one which I think Colin might enjoy here, which is by Fednet Femboy, which has a Colin Discord symbol on it. Good to know that he's in the thing. He says, when Felix was being tortured by a demon of Siege, and he just rage baited it. I don't know the context of this one, so Colin, you might have to
Oh,
explain
which one
this.
was that in?
You might need some time to think about that.
I might need some time because I've said before, but I read like all of the Gotrek and Felix books over like 2 months.
That's crazy, man.
So it's kind of just like this one giant blob of events in my head.
Or while you're thinking, shall I read one out quickly? Which I think Eli would like. And it's Twice Dead King from Chimp Wukong, which is when Jaceras was talking to Altix about patience. And then he has the tachyon arrow in his wrist. And so, like a tachyon arrow is like, that scene in Iron Man where there's a tank in the first one that shoots at him and he just points his wrist and goes,
Oh, yeah.
pew, through the barrel and it blows up. But like, imagine the end of the missile is tipped with like a nuclear warhead. And so it can practically kill anything, but they stress in the books about if you miss when you fire this, you think you've ever like whiffed a shot. That's the biggest whiff you can ever do because this thing, I think he shoots it at a Titan and it blows up.
Yeah,
and it's like
a big Titan.
That was,
a big
and they're like,
Titan.
they're like when you play an RPG and you're like, I've got an elixir, I shouldn't use this until I have to, and it's the ultimate version of that where you're like, I don't want to shoot this on anyone. Like I think there's even an example that like, oh, there's this one guy, this Necron Lord, who shot it at a dude, and it obliterated him, but it's just like, what a waste of that.
So Altix tries to shoot it. Altix tries to shoot it at an aircraft, I believe, and he misses, and he wastes it, which is why Jaceras is then lecturing him on patience, and then he shoots it out at the. It's not a Warhound. It's one above that, I think. Titan.
I feel like it's an Imperial Warlord or something stupid. It's like the biggest
feel like it was
one.
a Warlord, and he one-shots
It just
it.
goes.
It's like it's one of the most powerful weapons in 40k, but it only does d6 damage on the tabletop.
Me with my hunter killer missile.
I mean, to be fair, that is most things on the tabletop. Like every time anyone says, and we have no, and they shall know no fear, and yet Space Marines have a leadership score and always have.
Donkey Man is saying, Colin, it's Giant Slayer, it's Giant Slayer, it's Giant
Slayer.
Oh,
thank you. Oh, that was. It would have been. I don't think they were quite Demon Princes, if I'm remembering Giant Slayer correctly, and that because I know that was the one with Teclis in it, so I remember that one. But no, like the enemies of that book were these two twin sorcerers of Tzeentch, who had actually escaped one of the previous books after, of course, Gotrek slaughtered the main enemy as he does. They showed up back on Albion, and they had this giant. And it was like one of the OG kind of giants, Corrupted Chaos, where it wasn't like the ones you normally see in Warhammer, where like they're 50 feet tall, they're pretty big. Nah, this dude was a skyscraper, which incidentally, really quick for his death, Gotrek cut his axe into his eye and then scaled down his like eyes, like nerves back down to the ground.
He did an OG God of War moment, which is like, Zeus, I have come to destroy Olympus, but it's Gotrek.
God of War or Attack on Titan, whichever one you prefer. They're both equally applicable.
Could you imagine a God of War Gotrek game? That'd be good.
That'd be fun.
I want either that, or what I chiefly want would be a Lilith Hesperex game made by the people who made Bayonetta. I think that would go hard.
With like a little bit of lollipop chainsaw thrown in. Like,
yeah. Look, come on, that would be a ton of fun.
Where are we going for now? The rest of the suggestions from the Discord.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone's up for, I've chosen one by usually our resident Gotrek and Felix enjoyer, Mr. Beastman from Sweden. He says Dante being impaled on the Hive Tyrant's claw and just raising his pistol and shooting it in the face.
That's cool.
That is pretty sick.
Can I add on to this moment? Because just before this is when Devastation of Baal, the entire Blood Angel successors have all mostly joined together. They fought the good war. They've done loads of killing. This is like the last charge. And even they unleash like the gates of the Death Company, and they just basically, unleash the gates of Arameo, and Dante just goes, charge, and they all the Blood Angels flood out in against the Tyranids. And the Sanguinor appears.
March with the
with the
damned.
damned, yeah. The damned march with the damned. So they're all, we are all Death Company now. They're not coming back from this, and they all like rush out. They're all fighting and carving up carnifexes and hormagaunts and all that good stuff. And some of them just get swiped and killed, but they don't care. They keep going on, and then Dante ends up. I think he has like a weird vision quest thing where he starts to see he's climbing a mountain, and then he finds himself at the end like fighting the Swarm Lord. He's kind of not doing that well initially. He's just like running away. Then he ends to, he managed to take a few hits on it, but then it's hitting him back, and then he chooses to let himself die, and he goes out swinging. And then Sanguinius is like, no, no. And he's like, please let me die, please. And then Sanguinius is like, nah.
Please.
He literally, he is so gassed to be dead as well. He's so gassed. He's like, thank goodness, He's like, take me with you. He's like crying. He's like, no, let me die.
There is a comic, I think it might be Mixuin, I'm not sure. It was just like him with like the tears and say, I can't wait to die. And then Sanguinius there like he's got like the big tears and he's all like chibi fired. I'm like, that's
sorry, man. Your duty ain't over.
We got some chatters very displeased about Andy's Ben 10 comparison.
Ben 10 foul law we made.
I don't watch Ben 10. I'm not 7.
Well, I was 7 when it was airing, and it was peak.
All right, cool.
Eli, is there any from the selection that you particularly find a draw to? Colin?
Sounds like Colin has one.
There is, and this is even like tangentially Eldar slander. I got to give it some credit. It's when the Emperor is entering the webway in a Master of Mankind.
Oh yeah.
From Donkey Man USA, and in the sunless realm, the sun rose at last. I mean, it's simple. It gets the point. The big man is here now. We've won.
Do you want to explain it, Andy, for the people who maybe don't? Or Colin, do you want to explain it then? If you,
I know the gist of the war in the webway. It was after the Emperor was doing his webway project to move mankind into it, and Magnus did nothing wrong, and ruined the webway project. Which, again, Hal, I'm sorry, I must give Magnus credit for this one. He was trying
so much.
Look, in this moment, as much as he did biff it, he was trying to warn his dad of his very clearly traitorous brother. He had good intentions. He was trying.
Yeah, but that's like saying I'm trying to give a warning to my brother, but I drunk drive to get to him.
Well, this is where Emperor slander supersedes Magnus slander. Maybe if Big E mentioned what he was doing, Magnus would have done it another way, but he didn't have the information because his dad's a prick.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
that's fair. That's fair.
I found a nice Xenos representing message here.
Another one.
Yeah, after that happens, the webway project, like the seals are broken because Magnus broke through them. Demons like pour into the webway, and because
they gush into the webway.
They're demon, like it's all the demons of chaos pouring into one point, basically, all the ones that can.
Not the web ussy.
Yeah, it's an endless tide, and it's part of the webway, like connecting to Terra. So again, it's in the Emperor's house. And initially he wasn't dealing with it because directly dealing with it because the Horus heresy was ongoing. The Emperor had a lot of some pressing things on mind beyond even that, but eventually got to a point where he couldn't quite ignore it, and he entered, and it is as the line says, in a sunless realm the sun rose at last. There was the custodians were reinvigorated. They just because their god was there. Big E gave them like a full night's rest, like that. You're ready to go. You're ready to fight. And he's the Emperor of Mankind. So he was just.
I like the meme as again. It's another web comic person where it's just like it's that quote, and it's Joey from Friends, and it's a demon. It's just like.
Yeah,
and that's the quote above it. It's like, oh no, you messed up now, boy.
And it's to my knowledge, they don't spend books and books of the Emperor in the webway because they don't need to. It's the Emperor has showed up here personally. Everything in front of him is going to be unmade now. That's just how that works.
An army of fire and the revenge of the fallen dead of Isfahan and a certain Primarch looking flame, but not an actual Primarch.
Hal, can you say that again?
Merus Fanus.
Revenge of the Fallen?
I know.
Can I glaze the Khan for a moment? I've got a pick.
It wouldn't be a LoreCrimes episode without it.
Andy on his knees for the calm.
Papa Bradford, Jagatai and Sanguinius. If I act, said the Khan. Sanguinius opened his eyes to look at him. There is a grave risk to you, a confrontation unlooked for, and if you survive, a fight from one danger into great peril. Who will I face? I cannot divine. Will I save lives? Sanguinius nodded. Many. That is what I was made for, said the Khan. I will ride out. He's peak. He's freaking peak.
You know
He's
what?
peak.
I can't lie. That goes hard.
There's too many Siege of Terror ones.
Vroom, vroom.
Everything Khan does is an aura moment.
Tonight, on the Siege of Terror, the Khan decapitates Mortarion. Shiban Khan rescues a baby. And Camba Diaz is dead. Yeah,
I heard you do strange things to your warriors. You know that.
I have two of them based off of both something sent and what Andy just said. It's a Siege of Terror one I have.
Cool.
It is it's when Karn got his like future sight of the Black Templars raging across the galaxy and was utterly horrified. And he's telling Sigismund, Sigismund is like, I don't like, he's like, you are broken. And Sigismund's like, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to kill you now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a vacuum of unfeeling, unmerciless killing.
No, that goes pretty hard. The other one, though, and this is from one in the chat. Andy will wear a green hat.
Yeah.
I haven't. Don't fret about it. It will happen.
Titus, he says Titus when he picked up the banner, and it's a picture of the Space Marine 2. I'm gonna say
that was peak.
That goes hard, but it's followed by an even better moment when Marneus Calgar himself shows up, not even looking down as he's just firing into the masses. It's just like,
brief me.
I was just like grumpy playing this game. Oh man, this game sucks. I hate this game. And then that came on, and all was forgiven.
Also, thank you to everyone who watched my video on Marneus Calgar when I was like, oh, no one's watched it. And then Space Marine 2 came out. And Thank you. I'll take that.
Marneus Calgar, once again, the greatest of us all. He is the spiritual liege of all Space Marines. They all wish they could be Ultramarines.
Pulls off the head of a skull. What's the guy?
Lord of Skulls.
Lord of Skulls. Like,
takes W after W after W. I got a medal. I got a medal Marneus Calgar the other day. I just found him. I just dropped his arm. But here's a one-armed Marneus Calgar.
Hell yeah.
But I do have his other.
I have to say, I get why people complain about that one. But if I'm reading a 40K comic by Marvel, I don't want reasonable, this guy couldn't do that. Like, I want cool shit. And pulling a Lord of Skull's head off is cool shit.
The thing is, Marneus doesn't have a novel. He only has the comic. He's a side character.
Yeah, he's kind of just there. He just sits on the throne and
Dante's got a book.
As they say.
Azrael's got books. Shrike's in a book.
I feel like we could just send that picture of that second edition image of just him with the hands the size of people.
The hands the size of his own chest.
Yeah.
His tiny little head.
I love you, Marneus. Never change.
Your chapter master doesn't look like that. I know that.
Speaking of Marneus, I do have I got one I can read. And it has Marneus in it. And it's kind of funny. From Disputus Lupus. The Swarm Lord, shout out Swarm Lord, first tier to mention. The Swarm Lord cutting through Calgar's honor guard like Clinton's hitmen through Epstein's door, turning Calgar himself into a quadriplegic, feeling hungry, might eat the Ultramarines first company later, IDK, # just behemoth things.
Yeah.
Peak, cinema, peak.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was just thinking.
I need a wee. I'll be back.
Was it the Swarm Lord blowing through Bubba like it's no one's business? Man, that is a crazy year. I have one which is here by Smooth Brain Cetra Simp, which is a very confusing title and name. Which is Grimalda standing atop the walls of Hell's Reach, screaming for the orcs to come and kill themselves and the defenders' guns. I mean, there's quite a few from Hell's Reach. I can often think of you think sons and daughters of Hell's Reach. This is our city. This is our walls. Say it, scream it, cry it. So that Decritus or the bastards will hear us from orbit, and then they just go, Grimaldus, Grimaldus. You know, oh man, it is.
Great.
It does hit so hard. And, you know, anything that Grimaldus kind of, anytime Grimaldus decides he needs to speak to people in a group, he just really does unleash it. But I had one. I might say one for the end, which is my favorite, but I had another one that was like Colin chose one from the chat. I got one that's it's not really like, I don't know if it's like a proper aura farming moment, but I found it quite, it kind of is. It is Uftak, Mr. Funny Orc himself. And it's when he's actually, it's in the second book when he's imprisoned by the Drukhari, the Dark Eldar. And he's in the context of the book, he's obviously a, you know, he's a boss, he's a big boy. And he's been shot by this Drukhari like poison. The way this poison works is it overinflates your body to the point where you just burst. But then he also got hit with a tranquilizer at the same time. So they capture him and his body's like starting to like bubble up. And then one of the other Drukhari, I can't remember the name of the particular Drukhari in the book, she has him in prison. She goes down to the prison cells and then she goes to like...
is this
Uftak. Yeah. And she sees him in the prison cell, except he's much bigger now. Like he's noticeably... She definitely goes like, hang on a minute, he wasn't that big as before, but because he had the tranquilizer, like it helped him like survive, and so he just basically ended up enlarging to an even bigger boss. And he's just sitting in the prison cell and he's staring at her, and you know where he's like, there may be prison walls between us, but you know, I could definitely kill you with one little flick of my wrist.
I've only just got back. Did you mention why he became so big?
I mentioned he got hit by the poison. I can't remember which particular thing he got hit by.
It's like a homunculi poison that's supposed to like make your organs and stuff so overactive that like you explode. But because it's an orc, it just makes him enormous. And he goes from like a pretty smart orc to then at the end he's there with like a pipe in his cell. Like, you don't seem to understand, Drukhari. You know, actually, we don't fear death. We embrace death. You know, we actually.
He starts to say, you know what? I've been doing all this thinking, and I'm starting to like thinking now. So... but
not like a death skull. Not like that. No, blood axe. Not like a blood axe.
Not like a blood axe.
Cringe, but proper thinking.
Yeah. And in the audiobook, they do such a good job because he basically sounds like, you know what, mate? I reckon I could, you know, slay an uprising with my little Twinkie, you know, sort of thing. He sounds so funny in the audiobook.
And then he just like steals her flagship and uses that to kill his own war boss. Like, oh, this guy's not playing anymore.
And then is it
crazy.
The Gretchen? They have a communist uprising that ends up failing in the book, and then they get killed by all the wounded Drukhari because they're just like, oh look, it's a healing bath.
The Red Gobbo stuff is actually quite... I'd honestly recommend anyone, if you want to know about orcs, read the Red Gobbo stuff, because there's a lot of little tidbits in those books that you wouldn't expect. It's really good.
Cool. The Drukhari made a poison that inflates orcs. Look up orc inflation to find out more.
Darth Bladable.
I've got two. I've got one from the selection and one I remembered. One, Matt 2701, as he said in the No Judgment, the obligatory "such is the power of Nagash" quote. I mean, again, the context of that is he's telling that to someone, and the full quote is him going, "You're nothing. I can kill you in an instant, and then put your soul in a cage and laugh at you in suffering forever." He just said that. No one made him say that. He just broke that one out. And if I remember correctly, it's to someone comparatively insignificant, but it has been a while, I will admit. He might have been saying that to his brother.
Bruh.
Nice Such is the power of Nagash. I mean, come on now, fellas.
Did you say you have another one as well?
The other one, yes, I remember this, and I'm going to need to defend this one because it's Eldar related. Anything Eldrad does.
Okay.
All right, so let's start. I'll even start Horus Heresy for everyone.
Like the Fulgrim meeting.
No.
Ignore
that one. Him tormenting John Grammaticus on Ultramar is the most extra shit. Like, like John looks at like this fountain and he notices time has stopped. He sees a reflection not his own, and there's voices in his head. So then he leaves. Like he's just like, I gotta leave. He goes to some diner, and then he sits down. He like looks away, looks back. There's Eldrad. Just there again. Time is completely stopped.
Miss me.
There's so many other ways, like psychic ways, like cast an illusion, do that, like so many different millions of things you could do. Eldrad stops time, like,
and he's also like,
pause.
he's like, hey, bro, do you know what? You know what? What? I just got like a word bearer assistant now. He's like my admin guy. Yeah, just got one of them now.
Yeah, I got one of
Will it pay off?
those.
We met on
Can we
Hinge.
give Eldrad one W, please? One real W.
Okay, he is a.
I'm following that up with
yeah.
a W.
Okay.
And again, it's still Imperium related because such is Eldrad's unfortunate fate. But we'll get there. We'll get to one all on his own. The War of the Beast with the Last Wall protocol. When Eldrad goes, yeah, probably should save Terra. Hey, all of the warp, settle down, would you? Just calm down. Let the monkeys reach Terra, please. Settle down.
But lest we not forget that Gazgul is his fault because he was like, oh, there's a threat, there's an orc threat that's going to kill all of my people. I'm going to let this warlord rise up to prominence just because it's better that it's harassing everyone else in the galaxy and not us.
Right, well,
that might be an Eldrad W, but it's still an Imperial W.
Also.
It's still an Imperial
again,
W.
Again, I'd like to also remind you, some people say the Eldar are arrogant. Have you read a 40K anything? That's everyone. If the worst thing you can say about someone is they're arrogant, that's nothing.
I do like also like there is an aura moment in the Grotznik book where read the book, I would say, but long story short, there's a Gene Stealer uprising and Grotznik makes an orc Gene Stealer hybrid to fight Gazgul because he's all like He's just he calls him a bucket. He says a bucket for Gork and Mork, and we made Gork and Mork. And he's just, it doesn't matter who it is. It didn't matter. He could be called like Kevin. Doesn't matter. He's just a bucket for Gork and Mork to be like a repository for. And it's like he kills the Gene Stealer orc hybrid, and Gaz is just like, that was fun. Do better next time. Also, make it proper orky. Don't make it one of these weird gribblies. And you're like, oh, Gaz.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, okay. You crazy boy.
Also,
crazy boy.
I got two more. For Eldrad. I must always defend him.
Wow, he's really going hard.
One
on Eldrad.
is how he soloed Abaddon. Which again, a lot of work did go into that. I will say a lot of work went into that. Eldrad, he did the Doctor Strange and Infinity War thing where he was like every possible timeline. He's like, okay, I need to do exactly this, or I'm gonna die. But Eldrad did do exactly that, and he sliced open Abaddon's throat and nearly cut his head off before he teleported away. That was all Eldrad. Always no Imperium influence. Well, I mean, you got to keep the big bad guy.
Sigismund did better than that. He impaled him through the gut.
Yeah, and what happened to Sigismund?
Died.
Yeah, Eldrad didn't.
Yeah. All right.
I love
and you know what? I'm even going to bring up the Death Watch thing because you know what? The reason it failed was because Eldrad tanked a Dreadnought's Lazcat into the face. Like he didn't even fully bring his attention to deal with it. He a sliver of his conscience was like, block that.
But bear in mind, right, Colin, here's the crux of that though.
Yes.
That led to the Yanari, and he Eldrad gave birth. He calls himself the Herald of Iniad because he's like, I'm the one who brought him into the furore. So technically, you have to thank Artemis for bringing you two really good Inari books.
Yes,
wow.
And his hatred for the Eldar truly knows no.
And the latest lore where Eldrad is so committed to the Inari that he gave up and went home to Ulthway.
Eli, you were there. You were all there when we were in Ireland, and I was reading the Craftwell books. I'm like, oh god, it's tough.
We have wounded this man.
I still don't know if I should laugh or cry that the Eldrad's latest lore is he's just given up on the Inari. He went home to Ulthway.
Believe it.
Damn. So we had another one here, which was by Ben H. And he says, not sure it counts, but Perturabo smashing Fulcrum's head into the Warhound Titan and telling him, "I'm sick of your nonsense. We're doing this my way now."
Get out of here.
Always
Fulgrim deserved it.
appreciate
Fulgrim deserved
that people
it.
don't suffer fools gladly. Okay, can I please explain this one? Because
Mhm.
there's a few times where Perturabo just
Wails
immediately
on Fulgrim.
switches up. There's one where he did invite Fulgrim to his ship because they're working together to get this weapon called Angel Exterminatus. And there's been a few Iron Warriors lured over to the Emperor's Children. They've been dallying in a few things they shouldn't have. Fulgrim was
Shilly shally.
yeah, Fulgrim's been playing it badly. They get attacked by some shattered legions in the ship called the Sisypheum or something like that. I can't remember. Sisypheum or something.
All right.
I can't remember the name of it.
The Sisypheum is the Shattered Legion ship.
Yeah,
So
they
they're
get attacked by
attacking
them.
you. Yeah.
And they Emperor Children lose one of their own ships as they're going into near the Eye of Terror territory. And at one point, Perturabo is just sick of it because Fulgrim is, corrupted by chaos, and then he's just playing along. He's just, he's more obsessed with perfection and enjoying lavish lifestyle things. So he invites Fulgrim over to his ship, and he just says to him, we can work together. And Fulgrim's like, yes, whatever. He's like, and then Perturabo says to Fulgrim, could you have a look at this thing on my workbench? Have a little look. And he goes, all right, fine. Grabs the back of Fulgrim's head and proceeds to bean it in like at least 20 times into the desk, I think, and then hits him starts smashing him with his
It's that
war mace, forge breaker, is it?
That first time you see a Big Daddy in BioShock, and it's just pummeling it into the glass until it breaks through, and you're like, "That's a Big Daddy." He's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, and
Fulgrim
then
is such a jerk in this entire book.
Yeah,
He's
but can I
such a
just say,
jerk.
Yeah,
the reason why this is so good is because this is literally, I have mental issues. The other Viltrumites don't talk to me. They are afraid of me. This is Perturabo's
So lonely.
I am
is this an
so
Invincible
alone.
quote? I'm 2 season 1 to understand.
Yes.
I haven't seen New Invincible either.
It is literally Perturabo's whispering in his ear, being like, "You will do what I tell you to do because I say it, and you're shit at this."
And to be fair to Peter, he's been very restrained for the first bit of the book. Where he's like,
wow.
okay,
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
I'm like,
It's
he's all
Peter
like,
Pan.
I'm gonna do, and he's like, okay. You've got your credentials from Istvan. You've got your credentials with the War Master. Okay. And then eventually he's like, enough, and then it changes.
The Fulgrim transformation in that book is pretty aura-farming. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
Especially when he literally achieves apotheosis and goes, I'm a snake.
Yeah, and there's
I'm
thousands
a
of soul
snake.
gems floating around him and all that cool stuff.
And Eidolon stabs him and then inserts
and
soul gems into his body.
Gems into his body. Yeah, that part's gross, but
puts him up his bum.
It gets pretty cool. It's a pretty cool scene. And then Nicona Sherokin ore farms for the entire Horus Heresy.
Nicona literally I headshot a Primarch. Did he?
And then I win, and then I win again, and then I win again, and I can teleport, and also turn invisible.
I survived the Sisypheum crew, and I'm the only one left, and I'm in a stasis pod, and no one knows where I'm at.
I got.
Come on, Nicona.
People in my comments,
but to be fair, Eli, the Raven Guard need a win. They haven't had a win in ages. Imagine if he came back.
I had people in my comments malding and seething and trying to defend him when I called him a Mary Sue character, but he totally is.
But Kayvon Shrike got cucked by his own first captain, and now he's not chapter master anymore. It's what's going on? What's going
on?
Raven.
Sorry, Raven Bros.
We do have another one though.
Doesn't even have me off. Oh.
We had another one by Voldasterian, who says, my favorite moment is in Prince of Crows when Sevatar meets with the remaining Cryptera, and one of them calls him mad. And he replies, no, I feel fine, before walking around the room a bit and saying more stuff, then dipping and then teleporting in his Terminators to kill them. He just casually standing over the guy who gets out, and he's like, yeah, I did kill them because they were idiots. I feel like I can explain this one quite well because I've literally just done a Sevatar video.
You just done your Sevatar video,
By
yeah.
all means,
they've just been ambushed by the Dark Angels. They don't really know that the Lions got a new piece of fancy tech, so they keep ambushing them around the Thramas sector. they keep losing, and they had a really bad battle. Lots of the Cryptera, which are like Kurz's inner circle, a few of them are dead. The last few of them are meeting up. Sevatar walks in, and they're always like, "We need to go attack the Dark Angels again. We need to make get revenge." And Sevatar just basically tells them, "What do you mean? Are you saying we need to get revenge for some?" I think his quote is some imaginary stain on our imaginary honor. You know what I mean? Because we're Night Lords. Like, what do you mean? We don't do things honorably. And he realizes like basically the three guys in the room are idiots. So he leaves his chain. He says to them, "Please don't make me kill you. My chain glaive is like all the way on the other side of the room." And then he just ends up leaving the room. One of the guys is like, "He's left his chain glaive in here." He runs out the room. They teleport. Sevatar teleports his Atramentar Terminators in. They kill the rest of the Cryptera. One guy, Varjahan, I think his name, Varjahal or something. He managed to escape the room, but then Sevatar just catches him, and then he says to Sevatar, like, "Why the hell did you kill them? Did you kill them just because they disagreed with you?" And he went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah."
And then like Courseway, I was in your videos, Courseway. It's just like, hello, pig fucker. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
Dark Angels, where's your chill? Where's your
drop that
chill,
one.
bro?
I do have incoming backups. One that he requested us to read in his donation if we want to do that. He says it's from most recent or farming moment from a free AOS short story. I don't know who's speaking, but you ... The knowledge of impending doom seems too much for the demon prince. So deep ran its outrage that it could muster no incantation. It could only spit word fire out of its beak, eyes whirling. "You are marked, beasts. The choirs and covens of the scintillating gyre beyond this world will know of the insult you have leveled upon us. Primitive creature spawn of the twin-headed brute, lump and fist striking the cosmos. Know that you have earned my ire. Know that you have earned the ire of gods." I don't know who says this. "Oh, mate, I fought gods," Gordak snorted. "You ain't it." There's no he says you ain't it.
There's no
he
way.
You ain't it, boy.
But mate, I fought
And then he
gods.
said,
snorted
and then
after fighting
Sigmar
the demon.
said, "Ligma balls." Like, yeah, I'm
This is
sure
a
that's
guy
a
fighting
quote,
a demon
yeah.
prince, and the demon prince says all that, and then this guy hits him with that. That is cool. That is
I
cool.
will say though, with again, thank you everyone who has given a lot of suggestions. I think we might be cool to finish up on a round of if every one of the guys here wants to do like one or like the last few that they can think of. Again, thank you everyone who did do the. Unless Andy, you can see any more from the Discord.
Can I read one that I've spotted?
Yeah, go for it.
So this one's from Salt Metal. One of my favorite Orma farming moments is from the Fabius Bioprimogenitor. It's been quite a while since I've read the book, so I get any details wrong, etc. I apologize. Fabius turns to Gellerfield off of a demon basically off of his ship. A demon manifests in front of him. The demon tries to tempt Fabius into pledging himself to the gods of chaos. Fabius responds with, "Gods are weak. I'm not weak." Then bonks it into the warp. Like, yeah, that's a Fabius moment. He's
That is
always
good.
He's like, "I got killed. It's no problem. Oh,
He does have the
demon that I
demon
once had a
taser.
grudge with.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit you on my needler. Lol, 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 lol. Experiment. He's a cheeky boy."
It's a very memorable moment of that book.
Eli, was there any particular aura farming moment you want to last share with the group?
For my beautiful boy, Lucius the Eternal. Whatever. he has multiple cool moments in his book, in his 40K book. Oh my gosh. He has multiple moments in his 40K book. The first one when he kills the world leader guy, but the second one, Chrysitheus, one of the like Palatine blades, so one of the best swordsmen in the Emperor's Children, aka one of the best swordsmen in all of the Space Marines. He goes up to him and he tells Lucius how he's going to kill him. He says, "I shall take your arms, I shall take your legs, I shall take your tongue. The apothecary will see reason, he will fall in line and aid me in keeping you alive, just enough to keep the poison that passes for your blood beating through your veins. I will reduce you to a husk, watching the centuries pass by alone in silence, until the only soul at hand to consign you to oblivion is your own. And when that night falls, oblivion is where you shall stay." That's what Chrysitheus says to Lucius, which is cool. And then they have a little duel, and Chrysitheus pulls up. Let me see if I can find the. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay,
Well, that's
he
getting novel.
he throws a blind grenade at Lucius first to start because he knows that Lucius is just too goaded to fight fair against. But he does it. Yeah, Chrysitheus flew into the detonation of the blind grenade. He took aim precisely for the soft joint between Lucius's cuirass and the shoulder guard. The point of his blade would shear through the soft fiber bundle musculature and carve into flesh and bone, severing Lucius's sword arm clear from his body. Follow-up strikes to the right arm and knees would finish the business of disabling him. The angle of the blade was exact. Chrysitheus funneled his energy into the speed of the attack, making it a preternatural blur, nearly impossible to track. It was truly a perfect strike, except Lucius wasn't there. Agenion's blade, which is Chrysitheus' blade, cut only the thin smoke coiling through the air of the corridor, continuing to fly unerringly forwards along with the rest of Chrysitheus' sword arm. It's an anime moment. Lucius had seen his attack coming, and rather than parrying or dodging it, he had chosen to show his brother just how effective the cut would have been by executing it himself flawlessly. Lucius then goes on, blah, 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 to say, I rather liked the idea you had for me, my dear brother, since it doesn't seem that you will be needing it. Do you mind if I can borrow it? And then he cuts his arms off and his tongue and then humiliates him, and it's awful, and it's awesome. Lucius is,
Can I be a cheeky bitch?
Always.
I'd like to proffer two cool moments. One's very brief. One's kind of not as brief, but it's still brief, but it's not as brief.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing my research for Devastation of Baal. There's one where the Flesh Terrors are fighting on this chaos-infested world, and they have a custom of sometimes the people who are native to, I think it's Cretaceous, which is the Flesh Terrors' homeworld, cut out their tongues so that they can't spill secrets. And there's a bit where Seth and his men and Apollos, High Chaplain Apollos, etc., are like, oh, we've done this deployment, and one of these captains is going to attack. And the captain is flawless. He's doing his job. He's doing it great. And then Seth is like, oh, no, Baal's under attack. We have to withdraw all our men without haste, and we can't recover these men. And the captain's like, sir, we've taken the artillery positions. Like, we've got to go. Die well. And without a moment's hesitation, he's like, affirmative. I'm going to go out being a cheeky boy. And so his last thing is he tells his men, like, hey, cause as much havoc as you can. And then he gives them his stuff. And then he cuts out his own tongue and then starts like red first, black raging against the Chaos Cultists. I thought that was cool of like, not a hesitation in him, not a moment of like, why are you abandoning me? He's like, understandable. Have a good day. And like that's how the Flesh Terrors do. The other one I wanted to mention is a bit out of left field for me. I want to talk about Age of Sigmar.
Oh my god, it's a new era. What's happening?
So basically, I saw the Hamilcar Bear Eater animation on Warhammer TV, and it's all like there's a big orc encampment. It's going to destroy this entire city. And so the Sigmarites are like, oh, we'll just evacuate the populace, blah, blah. And then Hamilcar, who's basically me, is just like, don't worry about that. It's me. I'm Hamilcar. And they're like, who? Call back to the beginning of the episode where I talked about Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's all like, he just kind of walks in and is like, oh, no, my good man. Take me to your leader. And he's all like, oh, by the way, I will duel one of your champions, and if I lose, you can take the city. Gets curb stomped. He's like, okay, I yield. But if you win again, I'll give you all this and all that. And then eventually gets to the point, it's like, oh, wait, don't kill me. If you beat me this time, I'll let you become Stormcast, and I'll teach you the secrets to being a Stormcast. And then you, Mr. Orkman, can reforge your own units, and you can dominate everyone. And the Orc war boss is like, oh, actually, that's quite good. And he's been just like, this guy's an idiot. This guy's a fool. That's why I very much am like, that's me. It's me. And then it's like, okay, stupid ass, I've seen you getting beaten by 3 of my minions. You're no match for me. And they have a fight. And then Hamilcar is literally like, hey, Sigmar, I know you're watching. Do you really want me to give up the secrets to reforging? And then there's like a thunder crackle of like, you silly goober. And you're like, thought so.
Funny
And then he
little
just
man.
harnesses lightning and he kills the orc war boss. And he's like, great, I'm in charge of the orc horde now. And he sits on the throne and he's like, this isn't really my style. By the way, I'll do a deal. I don't really want to rule you guys, but if you sort it out amongst yourselves, whoever survives, I'll teach you how to do soul forging, and then you can be the next war boss. And so the orcs kill themselves, and the Stormcast don't have to do anything. And then, even though he's bludgeoned and bruised all over his face, he's got like a big bulging eye. He just has like an apple under a tree with his griffin. It's like, yeah, that's aura farming. Like, never underestimate the jester. Not
Mr.
quite Lucas the
Hamilcar Bear
Trickster,
Eater.
but I love a bear eater. That's fun times.
His novel is good too. I like that one.
Mm.
I'll pick one so Colin can round out. I might be a greedy bitch as well, like Andy. So there's two I've mentioned one kind of not that long ago in an episode, which was they're both Siege of Terror ones. Of course they are, because I'm obsessed with that series. It is the Saturnine, or not the Saturnine Gambit itself, no, even though that is cool. It is Mr. Cadwalder's Death. It is the Son of Dawn who, at the Eternity spaceport, he stands on a bridge with a few of the other Imperial fists, and he just says, I ain't moving. And then the world eaters just start streaming towards them and cultists. He kills, he slices. It goes on for quite like a long scene where he ends up just like he kills and he's so badly wounded, but he's not taken a single step, and the whole scene keeps building where it just says he slashes, he kills, he fights in Dawn's name. And then he bludgeons, he shoves a grenade down someone's throat in Dawn's name. He takes a blade through his primary heart, but he stands up and rams another one into the other one guy in his Lord's name. And the scene keeps building and building and building, and he basically ends up dying on his feet. He dies standing up. But he never took one single step back, and he killed like at least 13 or 14 world eaters, obviously empowered by Khorne at the time, because he's just that good, good old Dawn's sons. I do think this might be, other than the Webway one war from earlier, when everyone is it's End and the Death, Volume 2, when the word bearers are running, they're running away because they're scared, and they're running away from what they think is the Dark King, and they're like basically everyone in this like weird like clash together realm of like Terror, the Warp, and the Vengeful Spirit. There's this radiating energy of like, it is utterly terrifying to be near. Turns out it's the Emperor, just because he keeps sucking in more and more warp power, to the point in which the word bearers go, that's more scary than the Dark Gods. And so they end up just like, everyone who goes near him is like running away, whilst he just like breaks the entire realm. Pretty terrifying.
Even Sigismund and Khan, when they have that exchange, Khan is all like, oh, I used to know Sigismund as this valiant warrior, and now he's just like a void. He's just like, he doesn't have values. Yeah. He doesn't have like he's just like, he's just a vacuum of all emotion, and that terrifies Khan during the Siege of Terror. It's just like, is this what we'll be fighting in the future? These Templars who are just like,
I think, did Eli mention that one earlier as well?
Some game.
I think, did Eli mention that one as well? I think Siege of Terror just has like all of the best. Like, I think as a series, the Siege of Terror series might be the best, like, I guess, quote unquote series of like books, because there's only a few of them that are like mid. None of them are bad, but like that's a pretty. And then I guess, to be fair, it would torture Eli and Colin if they had to read it, but
I read
it is pretty important though. It has some of the coolest stuff in Warhammer though. It is like, because they just go crazy, and it is like a one really long episode of Helm's Deep, essentially. So I enjoy it. Colin, round us out, baby. What have you got?
You see, framing this one as aura farming might need some work. However, it is in the same vein as Cato Sicarius, planting his foot through a Tau water gas chest. Yes. This is Malekith. He's not the true Phoenix King, eat shit, Eli, but
True facing.
he is very cool. He is Dark Elf, Darth Vader. And this is a very short and simple. The nice way to put this is that Malekith was fighting an evil sorceress and came out on top. He's evil, but he's fighting someone even eviler. So that's a win. And he's Malekith. His armor helps him against sorceress attacks. He's his own quite powerful wizard as well. He is the Witch King, not of Angmar, of Nagaroth. Quite the powerful foe, and he bested another ancient powerful foe. This sorceress who has lived since the dawn of the elves' history. To put this in perhaps the less aura farming context, he looked at his mother, said, "I learned this from my father," and then backhanded her.
Wow. That is
that's crazy.
I didn't know we were ending with a domestic. Okay.
That's crazy.
If there's any
shout out to Malekith.
Wow. Colin needs a new symbol on our Discord for whatever that is. Hashtag domestic.
Domestic violence symbol. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Again, hopefully everyone has enjoyed this episode of all the farming moments. We've chucked in a few ourselves, and as always, please do join the Discord if you want to see the unedited live stream versions where it's got our faces on it. But for all the people who enjoyed the video, again, like, subscribe. We do have, we're on Spotify, all that good stuff, and we hopefully we'll catch you guys on some regular pods and tier lists and all of our, listen, don't judge, all that good stuff.
And bear in mind that next week we will not be here because I'm away and Hal's away. But I would like to say that we are launching a new series of videos, a brand new series next week. Ooh. And it's done and it's ready to go. So keep an eye out next week.
It's not the docking one's chaotic. I'm sorry.
It's not that. It's not that. No, never.
No one would pay to see that. We'd be paid not to do that. So
yeah.
I hope you guys all enjoyed though, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.